Hi team, my name is Rafael, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why is he even doing this and what's the catch? Well, oftentimes team, in the world of the internet, most local business owners are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. And sometimes the only hesitation they might have to hiring someone is they don't know who's an expert and who isn't. Well, I have found that by giving people an easy blueprint of actual things they can do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, I like Rafael, can you please do this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and you can see that I have plenty of proven tactics in my arsenal, then shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video team you simply want to take this free attack plan that I just gave you and do it on your own, that works for me too. Now, let me jump in and show you 3 things that will set your company above your competition and not waste any more of your time or mine. So, the first thing I want to go over with you today, team, is content. Most business owners know that they need content, but they don't know that the average length of the #1 result on Google for hitting is between 1500 to 2000 words. So, for you to show up at the top of Google, you need to add at least 1500 words on your homepage with the right keywords. Also, Google is not just looking at what's on top of your website, but what's behind your website. Things like meta descriptions and meta tags are important for Google. So if we actually go down your website and find an image, maybe the one in the back. Yeah, save image as, for example, you're gonna see that the name is just a random configuration of numbers and letters. And I understand that might be a way to classify the information you want to put on your website, but Google is looking at that. And that's how it decides who to give relevance to, right? So what I would do then is put some of those keywords behind these images to help you have more content. Right now, your site has about, let me do this, Control A, right? And Control C. Your site has 688 words, which is good, definitely. But when we look at your top competitor, which for the San Antonio area would be JB Heating and Air Conditioning, they are the #1 result in Google whenever you're searching for heating contractor San Antonio, for example. You're gonna see that they have, let me do this, Control A, Control C over here, they have 764 words. What this tells me is that they're beatable, definitely. They've simply put in a little bit more effort with their content and Google's rewarding them for it. Let's take a look at some real numbers. We use a tool called Ahrefs and we pay a few $100 a month for it. But what we really love about this team is it basically lets me see behind the scenes of what Google sees when it decides who shows up first. So we ran a quick scan of your competitor, JB, right? And if I go ahead and click on keywords, it's going to show me the exact keywords that your competition is ranking for and what your customers are searching for every month. Things like heat pump service, HVAC service, air conditioning service, air conditioner repair, heat pump, AC repair, air conditioning replacement, and so on. Bringing them 15 visitors, 11 visitors, 10 visitors, 9 visitors, 99999, and so on per month. Imagine that turning into real money for your pocket. Meanwhile, if we go back and do the same thing with your website, you guys have no keywords whatsoever. And that's what's driving their business higher up Google. If you have the right amount of content on your website with the right amount of keywords, you're gonna rank up higher in the eyes of Google, and Google's gonna actually promote you guys instead of them. Now, let's go ahead and look for something like heating contractors San Antonio, right? And here's the thing. At the top of the results, you're going to find the ads. And ads can work, definitely, but they can also be a money pit if your site isn't set up properly to convert visitors. So be careful not to burn your money with Google Ads until you know for sure that your site will convert those. All right, let's move on to the second thing I want to show you today, and that's citations. You're most likely asking yourself, what's a citation and why do they matter? Well, citations help you increase your ranking in the map pack, which is this space over here. When you look at Google search results, you're often gonna see this section right here, and every local business wants to show up here because this is prime real estate. It's where customers go when they are ready to call or visit a local business. And you're gonna see that on the left, they have listed their business name, address, and phone number. Well, that's also known as NAP, or name, address, and phone number, and this is how Google verifies and gives relevance to your local business. And you might be asking, okay, Rafael, how do I show up in the maps? It comes down to what we call NAP consistency, and citations are simply that. Places like Yelp, Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Facebook, Yahoo, and hundreds more. When Google sees your NAP listed exactly the same way across many reputable directories, that's going to build trust signals, and it will tell Google that you're a real legitimate local business, not just someone who popped up overnight. And in this case, more trust equals more authority, and that equals higher placement in the map pack. Right now, I can tell you, and if we go back, that the top 3 results, and they have an average of 150 citations, right? With you guys being in the, let me click more places over here and try to find you guys. Veteran. I don't think I'm gonna find you guys on the first page. Yeah, you're not there. But that tells me is that most likely you only have about 20 citations or something like that. And here's the thing. Getting you guys to the top 3 would be not just to go ahead and get you 150 citations like your competitor might have for their business. No. Let's go ahead and get you 200 or 250, so we're really dominating your competition. This is going to make it really hard for them to catch up in the future, and it's going to push your business higher up the map pack faster. Now, let's talk about the third thing I wanted to go over with you today, and it's how to get here in the organics, right? How do you push up to be here, team? Because about 60% of the traffic, they skip the ads, right? You know that. You do that. I do that. 60% of potential visitors, whenever they search for something like Heating Contractor San Antonio or any related keyword, they're going to skip past the ads, they're going to skip past the map pack, and they're going to end up here in what we like to call organic searches. And how do you get there? You get there, you need authority. And you get authority through something called backlinks. A backlink is when one website links to another website. That's basically a vote of confidence in the eyes of Google. And here's an easy way to think about it. Google treats websites kind of like a popularity contest. You remember high school, right? Imagine you're wearing a new pair of shoes. If the most popular kid at school stops you in the hallway and hypes you up about your new shoes, well, I bet you just became more popular, right? It's the same thing with backlinks. Every popular, trusted website that points back to your site, it's another popular kid vouching for you online. And let's look at the numbers. Right now, your site has 23 backlinks, right? Bringing you 0 visitors per month. And your top competitor? Well, they have 159 backlinks, bringing them 149 visitors per month only through backlinks. And here's the thing. What that means is all these other popular kids that are out there pointing back at JB Heating and Air, right? They're making them more popular. And if we can get those other websites pointing back at you guys, then you're going to become more popular. And this is where a tool like Ahrefs comes in and why we love it so much. I can see exactly which websites are linking to JB. I can pull those up and get those exact same links for you and more. Because just like citations, you don't want to just match them and stop. If in this case they have 156 citations, 156 backlinks, we want to get you to 200 or 300 of these pointing back at you guys. So you don't just catch up, you blow right past them. Because Tim, getting you guys to the top, that's not magic. It's just a method. And I believe I've shown you that method today. Now, once again, we went over 3 things today, right? The first one is that you need content. You need at least 1,500 words on your homepage, and I would put it on there with the right keywords to push you guys up. We went over citations. Most businesses have about 150. I want to get you guys to 200 or 300 of these to really beat out the competition by a landslide. And third, we went over backlinks. You need more relevant sites pointing back at you guys to show Google that you're the authority. You're the person that needs to be found when someone's searching for heating contractor San Antonio, for example. And if you implement these strategies today, you can be #1 across Google. So, I bet you're wondering, what now, Rafael? Well, you can either go with this information I gave you guys today and do this on your own, and I'm totally cool with that. However, if you want to have the most effective route and want to save yourself the time, you can give me a call at 512-359-5499. Once again, my name is Rafael, and my number is 512-359-5499. And I look forward to hearing from you, team. Have a great day.